I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. This is the Billionaire Brown experience. Let's go.
I don't fit that.
Do you want more or do you not want more?
I do want more.
You want more, but if you can't get it,
then I'm okay. Then I'm okay.
But there's still a piece missing, right?
There is, and I don't think that it'll ever be fulfilled. I don't think that I'll ever get that.
What you want?
What I want.
Okay.
But
is this enough, or are you just settling and meeting him where he's at?
Probably more that.
Meeting him where he's at.
Yeah, I'm accepting where he's at.
Okay.
There's still something in me that wants a little more.
Okay.
But I'm kind of like, okay, this is where he's at. It's at, and
is that important for us to know? Like, we may want more because you got some kids. There might be some teenagers listening to this. There also may be some individuals my age listening. Is that okay? That we just, hey, we got this relationship, we met. Dang, I wish I could have more, but hey, this is cool. Is that okay?
I think in the grand scheme of things, yes.
Okay.
You know, because it's something you don't have any control over. You know, you got to meet the person where they're at. You know, I'm meeting my dad where he's at. I might have that little yearning, but I think that yearning stems from my childhood. You know, once I realized, you know, as an adult that I missed all this. But yeah, meeting him where he's at and like, okay, we have this.
Okay.
And this is good.
Okay. Okay. All right, so is there anything else we need to know in regards to your meeting with your dad?
There was something else I wanted to touch on about that, but it might come back up. I don't recall.
Okay. See, I like this part because I feel that it's very important.
Yeah.
Even if you just say hi. See, you've been fortunate. Even though you're not getting what you want, I feel that it's important that you at least know and you met him. So even if you never saw him ever again, I feel everybody needs to at least meet them. Because if you go through your life you remember that time you said you wanted to meet him. There was this point in your life you said, I want to meet him. I want to meet my dad. If you live with that and not execute on it, I think that makes your life a little bit worse. And that's just my opinion. What do you think about that?
No, I agree, because then you never know. Yeah. So you have that thing in your head wondering like, oh, what if and you said sometimes, you know, the parent will die and then you find out they're, you know, and I don't know how that feels because it didn't happen to me, but you'll always have that thing in your head like, man, what I could have and I didn't, or, you know, you'll never know. So, and then you got to come to peace with that.
Yeah, that's a
whole nother route you have to take.
So obviously most of our family members aren't in the police department, aren't sheriffs like you were fortunate. That was lucky. Yeah. Then your cousin happened to be the person you
interviewed me.
Come on. That's, we want to help some people, but only God put you in that situation where that is that simple, right? Yeah. But what is the first step that somebody can do that's in your situation that wants to meet their parent and they haven't met them in over 20 years? Do you know of a first step? Is it the police department?
Well, I guess where we're at now, you know, you got the computer, you got online, you got the web. I mean, you know, you can search so many different, you know, I didn't have that, but I already knew people. Right.
So give us, throw it out. Maybe you're wrong, but I'm sure it can't be that wrong. I like you just said, social media, you can start searching. Yeah. But
Facebook.
Like, talk to those people for a second. Like, they have dads that are absent. What can they do? Maybe they have a barrier. Like, you know, I'm not going to meet him. He's a piece of shit. I've heard about him. He ain't do nothing for me. I had to do everything for myself. Like, what would you say to that person? Well,
just like I was talking about earlier, where there's several different versions to the same story. Right. You know, so let's say, now no one ever talked to me about anything, but let's say, for instance, my mother was mad at my father for leaving and decided to badmouth him. This is one version of the story.
No matter how flat you make a pancake, there's always two sides.
There you go. You know, so you don't know. It could be the truth. It could be just a version of the truth. It could be a complete lie out of anger. You don't know until you find out for yourself. You know, and I wasn't hearing anything, so I didn't know anything. You know, I just knew that there came a point in my life where I wanted to meet my dad. I could have been angry because he wasn't there. I could have been a lot of things. But when that yearning hit me, I needed to do it. I just needed to do it. So, no matter what you're being told, I think you have to remember, like I said, there's a lot of versions to the same story. And they all may contain a lot of truth, but I don't think they all contain the whole truth.
Yeah.
You know, so even with my mom tells me that he knew about me. He says he didn't. It's something that I just kind of like, I let go. I'm like, okay, that particular thing doesn't matter anymore because we're here now. So that doesn't matter anymore. I'm not even trying to get an answer to that. If and when I sit down and speak with my mother, I'm just trying to learn some things that I don't know. Like, did they have a relationship?
Because you said it was a one.
My dad says he doesn't even remember her. I don't know how you're with somebody sexually and you don't remember her.
No.
Unless you're drunk. I don't know.
No, that's. No, that's possible.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember everybody, but I guess
everybody
that I've been with sexually, yes. Now there aren't hundreds of women. Don't let me paint a picture like there's hundreds of women. You know, but I do.
No, that's possible.
I do.
Especially if he's on the move. You said he was on the move, so he may have been in town one night.
That too. You know, so that's why I wanted to talk to my mom. Okay. Like, did they have a relationship?
Unless they didn't talk at all.
Was it just you met at the skating rink and
never saw each other.
And never saw each other. Yeah,
like ever. Never.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk,
so that's what I'm trying to figure.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
But if they were talking, so that's good that you have a plan.
So that's what I'm trying to get answers to.
Okay. Did you remember the...
No.
Okay,
no.
if you do, just stop
I will.
But I want to get into this step parenting thing.
Yeah.
That's what I want to get into.
Okay.
And I know you're very passionate about it. You're very passionate about you're in a relationship with someone who has kids. Mm-hmm. But you also was talking about how it's difficult with the other way, where you have to trust the person that you're the other half of their parents is with too, right?
Yes.
So what is this whole with the step parenting deal?
Well, this goes back to when I was a child as well. My dad. I'll real quickly. My mother was married briefly.
Okay.
And for a short period of time, I lived with them. I lived with my mother and her husband, and they had one child, which is my brother. Okay. But he wasn't conceived yet. He's 7 years younger than me. So I lived with them for a short time, and her husband was nice to me, and I liked him.
Okay.
He treated me, as far as I remember, because I'm recalling, now 40 years ago. As far as I remember, he treated me like I was his son. He treated me nice, took care of me, took me places, bought me things, all those things. And I recall this one time, him telling me that I could call him dad.
Your stepdad?
My mother's husband.
Okay.
And he said, you could call me dad. And I don't remember my response.
At what age was this?
I was about 5 years old. I was maybe 4 or 5 years old. But I remember this.
Uh-huh.
And, as we get older, our memory gets skewed a little bit, and things we think we remember, it might be a little different, but this is how I recall it. Now, I told you that I didn't know I missed a father, and I never had a father around.
Right.
What I knew was he wasn't my dad.
Your stepdad.
And I wasn't going to call him dad. It was as if it was just this innate thing in me.
At 5?
At 5. I can't explain it. I've thought about it often. I can't explain it. I just knew that he wasn't my dad. Therefore, I wasn't going to call him dad. As nice as he was to me, he treated me like I was his son. And I was this little dark kid, you know? And he treated me like I was his son, but I just knew he wasn't my dad. And I wasn't going to call him dad. So, fast forward, you know, to where I'm at now in life, and I didn't give it much thought after that. I've thought about it over the years, but I didn't give it much thought. After my divorce and Anna met someone else and ultimately moved in with this person and got married, I did not accept that he automatically became a stepfather to my children. Because as far as I was concerned, I was still in the picture. There was no need for a stepfather. There was no need for him to step in and play that role because I'm here. I'm in it. And whereas in the beginning, I didn't have 50-50 and they were kind of slipping away from me, ultimately that's what me and Anna worked out. I was never going anywhere. I was always there. It was just our circumstances were, you know, they were bumpy for a while. So when I talked to other people and I talked to just people about what was going on and I talked about, you know, Anna and her new husband and whatever was going on, they would always, just like you just did, they would always be like, oh, the stepdad, and I'd be like, no, not the stepdad. Anna's husband. I'm their father. No need for a stepdad. And it was a real struggle for me. And
So you don't still believe that?
I still...
Oh, no. You still believe that?
I still believe it on some level. I can't say that I'm completely...
Okay, on what level?
I can't say that I'm completely free of it.
So what would you want? How should it be? You're active.
I think it stemmed from me being just really protective of my status as a father.
Okay. So
And
you're the father.
And I was afraid that I was going to lose them. So here I am. I'm the single dad over here now. Mm-hmm. But Anna has built another family unit.
Okay.
Which consists of her, a husband,
okay,
a man in the house, and the children.
Okay.
And everyone around, and this is all in my head.
Okay.
I feel like everyone around her, his parents, her parents or siblings, everyone's going to reinforce this idea, and I'm just this guy over here that every once in a while gets to spend time with their children.
Okay.
And it was stemmed from fear. That's really where it stemmed from. It really has no argumentative basis except that I was afraid that I was going to lose my status as their father. And
do you still believe that, though?
No, I don't believe that any longer.
Okay.
Are
you sure?
But no, I'm not too sure. Because a couple years ago, my girls told me that Anna wanted them to get Jason a Father's Day card.
Oh boy, okay.
And it was a punch in the heart.
And this is when you're already active.
Yeah, I've had 50-50 custody for a few years now. The relationship's going well. They're flowing back and forth real easily. Everything's going well.
So they came to you saying...
And they told me
Mom
that.
wants...
And I don't even know how it came up.
Okay.
But it came up.
So you're fired up.
Now I'm fired up. But I was learning not to react. And I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything to them. I didn't say anything to Anna initially. I just kind of... I'm not going to say I dealt with it, because when it finally came up, I kind of blew up.
Okay.
And it came up, I think, on a separate incident. You know, something else happened, and I'm talking to her about something, and maybe we're in a little argument. I'm not sure. And it came up.
Okay.
And again, There's several versions to the same story, and she claims